name is Bob Hurley. I'm the head basketball coach at St. Anthony's High School. Today we're going to take you through a series of offensive drills to improve your offensive game. Assisting me today will be my assistant coach, Roy Miller. Our first series of drills now, we don't involve the basketball. The first thing will be some agility, where we're improving your hand and foot quickness. And Woodrow Williams, one of my younger players, will come out now and do some power jumps. This first drill now is called power jumps. Woodrow will jump 5 times, bringing his knees up to his chest. He'll pause. The second phase of the drill, he'll jump 5 times, raising his heels to the back of his shorts. The combination will be the third drill of 5 times up and 5 times back. Okay, Woodrow, are you ready? Go. Okay, the second part of the drill now will be the heels going back to the shorts. Ready? Go. All right, now he'll pause for 1 second, and now he'll combine both of them. All right, ready? Go. All right, that part of the thing would be power jumps, and that improves your vertical jump and your ability to develop some muscle flexibility, so you're a little bit more agile as an athlete. The second drill now will be called the box drills. This will be a series of foot quickness drills, and Bobby Hurley will demonstrate these drills. Our first drill now will be both feet will start on the 2 marks. They'll come together. Bob, put the feet together to show the kids. All right, they'll come together and they'll go back out on the other marks. They'll come together again in the middle and they'll go back out. We recommend you do this for about 15 seconds. All right, ready? Go. Okay, very good. All right, now the second drill now, we'll put the feet together. The second phase of this, we'll put the feet together and we'll start, and we would number the boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so Bobby will go up in order now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 again for about 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Okay, very good. The combination of these drills helps to develop the strength in your calves and your ankles and helps to develop your lateral quickness. All right? Thank you, Bob. Bobby Hurley now will demonstrate the crab run, one of the greatest developers of foot quickness and hand-eye coordination. All right, Bobby's going to start off putting the ball between his legs in a figure 8. As he gets into a little bit of a rhythm, he'll start to move his feet, so he coordinates the foot movement with the movement of the basketball. When he feels ready to go now, he'll go down and back, going down forward and coming back backwards. There's a great developer of foot quickness and developing hand-eye coordination. We tell the players to only go quick enough that you eliminate the ball handling mistakes. All right? And we think that it does a great job of improving those skills. Our next ball handling drill now will incorporate the use of the dribble, and again another drill to improve the quickness of your hands. Demonstrating this will be Ricky Lash. Now Ricky will put the ball on the floor to demonstrate the way the drill is done. He will start off and tap the basketball with his right and left hand in front of him, and then his right and left hand behind him. What we want to do now is move our hands quickly and coordinate the dribbling from front and behind. All right, Rick, are we ready to go? Ready? Go. Very good. Now, what Ricky has done there now is to develop a relationship with his fingers and the basketball by putting himself in a situation that's more difficult than one he'd encounter in a game. This drill now will be the alternate leg. Danny will wrap the ball around one leg and then the other and extend his feet back and forth. Okay, here we go. He will go a little bit faster as he goes along right now, alternating one leg and then the other. Very good, Dan. Very good. All right, that drill again improves the relationship with the basketball and improves the hand-eye coordination. Danny will now get another basketball and we'll begin the dribbling of the basketballs. Now Now, what we like to start off with first with the players is to start off and again make the situation more difficult in a game. So Danny is going to practice his dribbling right now in phases. He's going to dribble the ball in cadence, up and down, with the ball coming up and down at the same cadence. The next time down and back, he's going to alternate the cadence, and the third time he's going to put together a little routine to make it, again, more difficult than anything he'll face when he plays. Dan, let's go. Second time, Danny will change the cadence of the basketball now, so he's got one up and one down. Again, you'll notice his head is up. He's looking at the basket as he's handling the basketball. And now he'll mix up a little routine now to challenge himself to do some different things with the two basketballs. Very good, Dan. Very good. Now we feel this ball handling drill will help to bring your weak hand along. Danny is a left-handed player, and you can see there that his right-handed dribbling was pretty good. We think that this really helps to develop the coordination of your weak hand. What you've just seen is a segment of agility drills that we use prior to involving the basketball in any movement. We think that they develop the agility and coordination and develop some hand dexterity with the basketball, and also help to move the feet quicker. I think you can never get any quicker than what you've seen these drills develop today. And I think a big part in the success of our players is that we can attribute to what the drills have done for us. We'd like to introduce now the 6 dribble moves that which we practice at St. Anthony's. The first dribble move that we'll emphasize now is to protect the dribble. We'd like to show you the positioning that we use while bringing the basketball up the court. First of all, the position we're in is called a boxer stance, right? Where we have our knees bent, feet are separated about shoulder width, and we have the basketball about mid-thigh. As we are dribbling the basketball, we take our other forearm and we point the palm down to the floor, and we put it in a position where we can protect the basketball. We use this hand now. We want it ready to protect the ball and to accept the basketball. So in all the things we're going to work on now, you will see us protect and accept from one hand to the other. The first dribble move we'll work on now, Bobby will come out and he'll demonstrate now the protected dribble. We mean the protected dribble is a position of the dribble where it can be protected by the body and where we're able to protect it if the defensive player goes for the steal. So Bobby will start off now showing the protected dribble. Yeah, sideways. The next dribble move we'd like to work on now is the front change. And in the front change now, we want the basketball again, mid-thigh, hand ready to accept it. The key coaching point here now is that we're going to plant the foot, push off it, and change the ball from one hand to the other. So with the basketball now, we're going to plant the foot, push it off, and go from one hand to the other. We want the change of direction to be a blur from one side to the other right now. We want the ball to be a blur across the body, down low, from hip to hip, so the defense doesn't have a chance to reach. Bobby. With the front changeover, that's the first change of direction move. We call it a change of direction move because the ball is going to have to be changed from one hand to the other. We'd now like to show you the counter move to the change of direction now, where we start off and we bring the ball halfway across the body and we keep it in the same hand again, which we want the defense to feel that we're changing it from one hand to the other. So we take it and bring it across and keep it in the same hand. This is called the shake move. We want the defense to feel that they're playing that. We want to move them over and keep the ball in the same hand. A very safe move because the ball remains in the same hand. Bobby. Our next dribble move now, the next dribble move we'd like to work on is the inside change. With the inside change now, we believe it's a very good dribble move because as we're dribbling and the defense is playing us closely, we take the dribble, we put it between the legs and come up with the other hand. We think that that leg out there now helps protect the dribble. We want the ball to be down low, and in the same thing as accepting, we want this hand out to protect it, and we want it ready to accept the basketball. Very important point now is that the lead leg right now, which will be the left leg, is extended so there's room for the basketball to go through. The further down the leg is, the lower the dribble can be. Let's go, Bob. Do it a couple times. All right, the next dribble move we'd like to show now, right, will be the stop and go. Again, another dribble move where we keep the ball in the same hand, and as we're being played by the defense, we just come to a complete stop. When we come to the complete stop, this gives us some room to operate because the defensive player now will react to us stopping. He'll break, and we have a little bit of room now to make a decision as to what to do with the ball. Quite often we'll tell the kids the best thing they can do with the basketball is to just stop and look at what the defensive man does when they stop. So Bobby will work on a stop and go. The last dribble move now, and the one that we like to use versus pressure defense, is the backup dribble. It's particularly important at the half-court line, when you approach the half-court line while being pressured, that as you approach that line, you're prepared to back up dribble and create a new angle. In the double-team situations that you face with pressure defense, the backup dribble is one of the important tools for getting out of trouble. What Bobby will do with the basketball now is he'll advance it, he'll back up one dribble and change direction. By backing up, he's giving himself some room to get away from the double team and also creating an angle to change direction. So the backup dribble will be a change of direction move, and it's used against double teams. Now, we think the best way of learning to handle all of these particular moves is to come out every day for about 10 minutes and do what you've seen Bobby do. Take it up and down the court, practicing one move and then the other in order till you feel good about using all of your moves, righty and lefty. When all of these things become comfortable, then we do what you'll see Bobby do last now, where he'll combine his dribble moves going up and down so that he gets a chance to put combination moves together. A changeover mixed up perhaps with a backup dribble, a stop and go, a shake, and the accumulation of all these makes him a dangerous dribbler. Let's have Bobby combine everything. One more time, Bob. One more time. As you can see, when you have the combination of a good right and left hand, you become a dangerous player for the defense to defend. And what we'd like to think is you go out and work hard on those 6 dribble moves with both hands. You've got a combination of 12 moves that the defensive player has to get ready for. The first dribble move now, which we had shown you, was the protected dribble. You'll see Bobby now with the ball protected versus the defense when the defense goes for the steal. What we want to see Bobby do now is turn his body and put the ball on his back hip, yet look at the other goal now so that in addition to protecting the basketball, he can see the open man under the basket. We'll have Bobby come back now with his left hand doing the same thing. With the protected dribble again, we'd like to see that the body is turned protecting against a closely defended offensive player. And you'll see there that Bobby kept the ball back on his hip, yet kept his head up so that he could see what was going on. The second dribble move we'd like to work on now is the front change. When the defensive player is overplaying the ball handler, we want him to change the ball from one hand to the other, push off the foot, and get by right now. It is a change of speed move and a change of direction. Bobby's trying to lull the defense to sleep and then rapidly change hands from one to the other and push off the foot to go by the defense. You'll notice here now that the change of speed lulls the defense to sleep. From one hand to the other, he's able to change hands and getting the defense in a position where the defense is on his heels, and he changes and goes from one hand to another. All right, now the dribble move now, you call it the counter move to the front change, is the shake move. And we've just worked on change of direction. So now when we get the defense to move with the change of direction, we're now going to take the basketball, keeping it in the same hand, which is a very safe move. We're going to work on the shake move now. And you'll see Bobby take the defense now and bring it across and keep it in the same hand. Why we like this dribble move is because the ball doesn't change hands. There's less of a chance for error because the basketball remains in the same hand. Does not give the defense a chance to reach out and go for the steal. So Bobby now will work on the shake move, and James Wright will try to put some pressure on him. You can see that Bobby is trying to move the defense across and make them play the dribble right now. And we feel that the ball is going to move a lot quicker than the defense can. So by taking the ball halfway across the body right now, we're able to move the defense one half step, which gives us the chance to advance the ball up the court right now. Therefore, we shake the defense over and we advance it straight ahead with the dribble. All right? The next dribble move we'd like to work on now will be the inside change. Now we feel the inside change now, the change between the legs, is not a showboat dribble. We think that that leg that's out there right now offers the protection for the dribble. So as Bobby handles the basketball right now, you'll notice that the change between the legs is a dribble that's protected by the leg, but also it is the lowest dribble move because of the need to have the dribble down to get it between the legs. So the lower the dribble, the more difficult it is for the defense to get it. So it may appear to be something that's a bit of a showboat move. It's a very safe move when practiced, and it's so low to the ground, you'll rarely see the inside change deflected by the defense. Here we go. Slow down now, guys. Slow down now. You'll notice again how low the dribble is and how Bobby's able to protect it with the other leg right now. That each time he makes that dribble move, it does not go in front of his body, but is protected by the leg and is down very low. Therefore, it's a very, very safe dribble move and one that he has perfected with both hands. Our next dribble move now, we're working now with the stop and go. The reason we like the stop and go, it's a very fundamental dribble move and one that all young players can use right now because all we need to do with the stop and go now is to bring the ball up and stop and let the defense continue to slide. So as I come down the court and come to a jump stop with balance, the defense continues to slide, gives me a little room and some time to make a decision. One of the big problems with young players when they're being pressured is that they rush through things. So the stop and go move gives the kids a chance to stop and read the defense. So we'll watch Bobby now stop and go and give himself some room to operate against the defense. You'll notice again with the stop and go that Bobby will get a little bit of a cushion when he stops, which gives him room to operate. He always puts the defense back on his heels, and then he's able to go again. For young players, a very safe dribble move, one that gives you some room to get the defense off you. All right, our last dribble move now, okay, the last one we want to work on now is the backup dribble. When we work on the backup dribble, it is a move precisely involved with the second defender. So we'd like to bring out one more defensive player now. Mark Harris, come out. Okay, we'd like to now show you the use of the backup dribble in a trapping situation and how we handle a double team. You'll see Bobby now backup dribble after he sees the other defensive player coming. Mark Harris will call out the double team and he will make what we call a curl move into an opening where he can receive the ball from Bobby. We wouldn't want this player now not to be in a position to receive the basketball from Bobby now when he is double teamed. Here we go. The offensive player has to keep his head up. We don't want him to try to dribble between these two players, but rather back up and give himself time to make the play. The reason we like this is because we're putting ourselves in a situation where we're giving the offensive player more time to make the play and giving his teammate time to get to the best possible opening. We want the defense to pay for double teaming because we see the play coming and we make the correct read. Our next segment now will be on shooting. The first drill in shooting is learning how to make layups. The drill that we're going to work on now is called the long step drill. In the long step drill now, we'll focus on shooting the basketball on either side of the basket with a one-step jump. We want to practice shooting the basketball with the outside hand and jumping off the inside foot. What we want to do is keep the ball away from the body, away from the defense, and develop an ability to shoot left-handed on the left side and right-handed on the right side. This again should be the first shot that's practiced when you're warming up and working on your game. And here's how we start that drill. We'll begin now in a boxer stance underneath the basket. We'll take a step with the inside foot and jump off it. We will shoot with the outside hand. In doing this now, we're shooting what we call a protected shot. The shot is going to be protected by the body. So my step and shot will keep the ball away from the defense. So we start here now, and we will take a step, and we will jump and shoot the ball. Okay, as we jump and shoot the basketball right now, we want to roll the ball off the fingertips, keeping our head up and looking at the basket. Again, I will take a step with my inside foot and shoot with my outside hand. As I do that now, I want to progressively take a bigger step and go further away from the basket until I'm able to get out about 10 or 12 feet from the basket, where now I'm also utilizing my pivot foot. I have my heel off the ground. I step and push off the pivot foot. So now my heel is up. I'm pushing off the pivot foot, and I will step and lay the basketball in right now. We will practice this on both sides of the basket so we get in the habit of shooting with the outside hand. All right, Darren and Rod, come on in. As we get further from the basket, it's more important that we keep our weight down. We take a big step towards the basket and push off the pivot foot. Now Rod will go to the second layup now, along with Darren on the opposite side. A big step and a push off the pivot foot. Okay, and we'll go a little bit further out now, and our last shot here now will be a shot that will be harder than any shot we'll practice in the game. Rod is going to have to take the biggest possible step. Now, from a coaching point now, for Rod to practice this, Rod will take the back of his leg right now, and in order to improve his step, he will do this. And he'll throw his foot out. As he throws his foot out, he'll push off the pivot foot and get the explosion that we're looking for. So Rod right now can show how he's going to grab the back of his leg, throw his foot out, and push off the pivot foot to stride to the goal. All right? Hence, we call it the long step drill. All right, here we go now. Again, this is a shot that's going to be more difficult than any shot he's going to face in a game. A step now of about 13 or 14 feet to the basket, and good extension with his outside hand. Okay, and we'll do the same thing now on the other side of the basket. And before we do it now, Rod will practice again, taking the step and throwing that leg out and pushing off the pivot foot. Okay, he'll take that step and he'll push off the pivot foot. Okay, and we'll go one more time up to the free throw line, and that'll complete the drill. This is the first shooting drill every day you come out. You want to develop the ability to shoot with the outside hand on both sides of the basket. Again, we want to be jumping off the inside foot, shooting with the outside hand. The third point of emphasis is that the inside shoulder remains closed to protect the shot, to keep the shot from being blocked, and to keep the ball from being exposed. When you open your shoulder, you expose the basketball. So as I go to the basket and jump, and as I go to shoot, I keep my shoulder closed, which forces the defense to have to chop down to foul me. My inside arm stays up to hold the defense off. And I now will draw the foul by taking the contact. All right, our first shooting drill will be form shooting. And in form shooting, we want to work on the mechanics of our shot. The hand positioning of the shooting hand on the ball, the relationship of the feet, the squaring of the shoulders, our release point, everything that we're looking at to shoot a shot with good form. Now, the first point of emphasis in our shooting is the position of the elbow. We believe that the elbow should be underneath the basketball and above the shooting shoulder. So when we get to release point, we want the basketball sitting up here so that the position of the elbow is to be above the shoulder and leading into the shot. We want good arm extension as we shoot. The relationship of the ball to the hand is that it's on the pads of the fingers and not in the palm at all. So to look at the basketball right now, you should be able to see from the front or the back. You should be able to see through the shot because it is not down on the palm. We want fingertip control of the basketball. As we now begin shooting, we'll do what we call form shooting. And James will come out and rebound for me now as I practice controlling the basketball with one hand. Now again, we want the elbow above, and we want to spin the ball off the fingertips. We want to control the basketball and be able to turn it over as we shoot. The basketball should have backspin right now. My eyes should be on the target. My guide hand, if it was on the basketball, would be to the side of the ball. But as we practice shooting the ball with one hand right now, we want to emphasize backspin and the position of the ball upon release. We want it to smoothly roll off the fingertips and turn the hand over. I will bring Galen out now, and James will rebound for Galen. All right, now Galen will be right on the dotted line. Okay, you'll notice that Galen's base is wide. He's going to have his hips down low. He's going to have that shooting elbow in, and he's going to roll the ball up off the fingertips to the basket. His eyes are on his target. He's got good body balance, and he's controlling the basketball with the fingertips. He's got a nice soft shot, which gives a chance for it to play on the rim right now because of the backspin. Now Galen will add the guide hand now. He'll put the guide hand up and point the palm of the guide hand in so we can see the control that it has to just set the shot up, yet it will remain a one-handed shot. Now Galen needs a little more backspin on the ball, a little bit more fingertip control. Very good adjustment. You can see now that we want him to extend his arms and finish high. Finish high. He's getting nice arc and a smooth shot right now. The angle of the ball coming down to the basket will give him what we call shooter's roll. The second drill we want to emphasize now, and we'll switch positions, and James will become the shooter. The second drill now is called our extension drill. And in the extension drill, as James gives me the basketball, he will step forward and put his left hand up. What I now have to do is incorporate the guide hand into my shot, focus on my target and not the defensive pressure, and shoot the basketball without being bothered by the defense. So as James steps forward to give me the ball now, I focus on the basket and I shoot the basketball without being concerned about the presence of his hands. Again, I want to finish high. I want to have good arm extension as I shoot the basketball. You can notice that my head is locked on the basket, and though I'm aware of his presence, I am focusing on my target right now, which is the basket. Okay, we want to finish up the position of the hands as we finish now, and James can put his hand up defensively. The position of my hands will be like this when I am done. My guide hand will be there, and I will turn my hand over. Very good. Now, again, to review the two shots, we'd like to go back again, and our first shot right now will be the first thing we do after shooting layups, is the form shooting, where we concentrate on rolling the ball up off the fingertips, getting the shooting elbow where we want it, in front of the basketball and in and above the shoulder, keeping the target up and shooting the ball with good follow-through. We want to keep that control and turn the ball over and shoot down into the basket. My eyes are on the front of the basket. I want to shoot enough arc that I can shoot down into the basket. We tell all our players that that basket is big enough that two basketballs can fit in there at the same time. So a person who works on their shooting should know that if I'm shooting the ball well, I don't have to be right on the money there. I've got a lot of room to play, provided I have good arc with my shot. All right, the second drill now would be James stepping forward and putting some defensive pressure on me. Again, my head is up. I'm shooting the basketball right now, and I'm focusing on my target, and I am finishing by keeping my arms extended and finishing high right now. Again, my head is locked on my target. I'm getting the ball off my fingers, and I want my hand position to finish just like this. Okay, I got it. In summary now, we'd like to say that the beginning of developing a good shot is breaking it down to its elements. The first thing you need to be able to do is to be able to get the ball on your fingers and eliminate the palm, to have the shooting elbow in and the shooting position set, so that when we include the guide hand, put the guide hand in a position where it can guide it to a position to shoot. We're now in a position where repetitions are necessary. If you go out every day and work on your shot and break it down, you then can add the shooting drills on to increase your shooting range. But until your mechanics are the way we have talked today, with backspin, the good grip of the basketball, the positioning of the elbow, the head locked on the target, you're not going to become a good fundamental shooter. All right, the next segment we'd like to work on is shooting off the dribble and how we incorporate now the use of the legs and the momentum we create by moving and get that under control to go up to shoot the shot we just demonstrated with the same form. Now what we want to do is take the ball from outside the top of the circle and bring it in a straight line to the basket and show how we come to a jump stop, take the momentum, get control of it, yet use the momentum so we will jump. So the first shot now, I'll take the ball above the circle and I'll dribble it towards the middle of the lane. I'll pull up in the lane and shoot my shot. While I'm dribbling the basketball with my right hand, I still want to be stepping with my left foot. So as I come to my stop here, I will take a step with my left foot and point it, catch my right foot up and square up and shoot my shot. We call it the 1-2 jump stop. So as I go to the basket now to shoot, I'm going to come to a 1-2 jump shot. Okay? 1-2. When I have the ball in my right hand, I want to be stepping with my left leg. So as I go up to shoot the basketball now, I have created the momentum I've got control of, and I'm going straight up to shoot. When I dribble the ball with my left hand, I want my right foot up. So as I go up to shoot the ball right now, I'm going to go up into the same position I was in when dribbling with the other hand. Okay, now let's bring the kids out and we'll work on the pull-up shot off the 1-2 stop. What we want to have the kids finish is straight up and down, use their legs to get up high, turn and land balanced, following through, keeping their eyes on the basket. Now be smooth, fellas, right? Get that momentum, take the momentum, get control of it, and use that momentum to get off your feet. Straight up and down, straight up and down. Now let's slow down, take a little more time. 1, 2, stop, under control. Very good. Very good. One more time. Now let's use the other hand to dribble. Okay, good. Very good. Now, again, the big thing in this situation is taking the momentum and getting control of it so that we go up straight on the shot. One of the biggest problems with this shot is that as players get in here, they don't come to a stop and they wind up flying through the air while shooting the ball. Their momentum carries them into the shot. So what we convince all the players to do is to lead and go 1, 2, straight up and down in the same place. Again, left foot, point, catch up, momentum, straight up and down to shoot the basketball. When dribbling left-handed, it's right foot, it's right, left, straight up and down while shooting the basketball. That is the pull-up shot in the lane. The next shot we'd like to work on now is the pull-up shot from the wing off the backboard. Now we'll start from the three-point line and we will dribble in to the basket. We look at the marks on the floor. We want to stop above the box of the floor so that we have an angle to use the backboard. When we can bank shoot, we want to bank shoot. So as I know where I am on the floor, and as I go to the goal, I want to stop above the box so I can use the backboard. Since I'm dribbling with my right hand, it is going to be left, right, up, and off the basket. Since my target is the backboard, I am squaring my shoulders with that target. I am not squaring my shoulders with the rim. My target is the corner of the box. I keep my head up, and I want to shoot the ball to my target. So as a fast break lane or on the move to the basket right now, as I go to the goal, I am going to 1, 2, up, and use the backboard to shoot. And that's the shot we will work on right now. The 1, 2 stop, right-handed dribble, left foot will be the first one to hit the floor. Come on, fellas. Good. Look at that. Keep square your shoulders with your target, straight up and down. Right-handed dribble, 1, 2 stop. 1, 2 stop, straight up and use the backboard. Very good. One more time each. Get control of that momentum, take it straight up in the air. Very good. Now when using the backboard, we want to look at that corner of the board. We want to make sure as we stop to shoot here, we have our shoulders squared with the target. It is very difficult to be squared with the basket and leaning back to use the backboard. A very important point in all bank shooting is that you're above the box. If you cut below the box and try to use the backboard, you have a very harsh angle right now. When you are above the box on the floor, you are able to find a much better angle to use on the backboard here. So we want to cut between these two marks. So we tell the people without the basketball to know where you are. If you're above the box, left foot, right foot, and use the backboard. That would be how we create the momentum, control it, and go straight up to shoot basically the same type shot. All right, the next segment in shooting now, we'd like to work on 2-on-0, shooting the ball off the catch. We've already worked on shooting form and shooting off the dribble. Now we'll show how we catch the ball, have our pivot foot down, and square up and jump into the shot. Now I'll demonstrate with a post player first, and Darren will be the post player. Now we're simulating a situation in the game where the ball is caught on the wing. We catch the ball, square and face the basket, eyes on the basket. We look at our post player, we feed the post player. When we see his man, and Sean will be the defender right now, defending me. When we see our man go down to double team in the post, whichever way he turns, we two-step in the other direction. We'll bring Sean back out again. As I look at the basket and feed the post, I see Sean has turned his back to me in that direction. I take 2 steps, put my foot down on the floor, catch the pass right now, and eye the basket. If he attacks me aggressively, I look to go around him for my shot. If he comes at me slowly on the pass, If he comes at me slowly, I catch it now, and I look to shoot my three-point shot. So when we catch the ball and play 2-on-0, we practice doing two things. Catching it, taking 2 steps here to shoot, and catching the ball and going 2 steps towards the foul line because Sean made the other turn. Foot down, square up, and shoot the three-point shot. Now we'll have the kids work right now alternating, catching the ball, 2-step for the three-point shot, and they'll switch positions. Sean will bring the ball out now. Darren will go into the post. Sean will now feed the post and 2 steps to the corner, ready to shoot. All right, now Sean needs to get himself down a little bit more. Let's have Sean do it again. And let's have Sean this time having his legs in his shot a little bit more than he did first time. Very good. All right, now let's have the 2 steps out towards the free throw line now. Darren will feed the post. Darren's man now, as he feeds the post, feed it inside, will turn in this direction to double team. Darren wants to go 2 steps away from that turn, spot up and shoot the ball now. So that's what we'll work on now. We always look to see which way the man turns. He turns this way, we go opposite. If he turns the other way, we go opposite again to shoot the shot. We want, in that situation, for the defensive player, when he turns around, to have some confusion as to where the man is. We'd now like to show you our low post moves when the defense doesn't double down. So we'll have Bobby now throw the ball down into the low post, and we'll have Pat Sullivan come out. He'll be the first offensive player out. I'd like to demonstrate for you first how we receive the ball in the post, what we plan on doing inside, and a couple of moves that we like to concentrate on. Pat will be the defensive player. The first thing we'd like to do is to catch the ball above the box. We want to catch the ball above the box, get a good wide base, square up, and face the player with the basketball. We want to find the defensive player, the side of your body that he assumes we brace on that side. We use our other hand now, and we target the pass. If Pat puts his hand there, I want to try to clamp right now and get my hand above and try to sit on his leg if I can, but I want to be balanced. If Pat steps away from me now, I don't want to be leaning back and lose my balance. So we want to be on the balls of our feet in a balanced position, bracing and holding our spot, and targeting opposite. As the ball is thrown in here to us, we want to jump and center the ball in the middle of the body, a la a baseball player that gets the ball in front of him. We want to catch it. We don't want to catch it to either side of the body. As I catch the basketball now, I will catch the ball, chin it. We will always look to the opposite part of the free throw line where the lines meet. We do this to slow down our low post players. One of the big problems with young players is that the young players will catch it and put it right down on the floor in the post. So by catching it here and looking opposite, it slows us down. The second thing we want the players to do is, as I catch it now, I read to see what happens here. Bobby has taken the 2 steps. If his man doesn't come down to double team, I'm making a low post move. If he does double team, I kick it back out to him for the shot. We'll assume now that I've received it and I'm not being double teamed. As I catch the ball here and look opposite, if I see my defensive player in my line of vision, the first offensive move we work on is the drop step power layup. So as I catch it and chin it and look, I see my defensive player, I drop my low foot, I power dribble to the basket, and I go up right now to score. So the first move we want to work on as we catch it in the low post, as we brace and catch, is I look to see if the double team occurs. I look opposite. If I see, I drop step and I go to the basket, keeping the defensive player on my back. So as I turn and go in, I want to get him on my back right now. So as I turn and go to the goal, I want to keep him there. I want to take the ball up and not hold the ball over my head, but in front of my forehead. So as I look and turn and power dribble, I want the ball there in front of my body as opposed to up over my head. That'll be the first move we'll work on right now. All right, now, Bob, I'll give you the ball. Pat will catch it. I'll go to the opposite elbow. Pat will look right now. The defense is on the top side of him, and he'll drop step and power it up. First move we have. All right, it's our first move. At the same time, if the double down had occurred, Pat would have kicked it out for the shot right now. If a double team had come from this side of the floor and Pat saw this player coming, he would kick the pass right over there to make the defense pay again for double teaming. The second offensive move we want to work in the low post is that now when we catch the ball in here and look, we don't see the defense. When we don't see the defense now, we turn and face the basket and shoot. A particularly good move to work against zone. Second reason we turn and shoot is we don't want the players dribbling, turning middle. We like to see the kids use their dribble going to the baseline. So as I catch it and turn now in here and get the defense on my back, I turn and I use the backboard. Okay, now third low post move we want to work on now is the Kevin McHale move, which is the up and under. So it's a counter move to the second move. So as I brace and target in the post and catch the basketball, as I feel the defense and look opposite, turn into my shot, I raise the ball, step by, and go to the basket. So again, as I catch the ball inside, brace, catch the ball and look opposite. As I square up into my shot, I raise it, I go by the defense, and go to the goal to score. Okay, Kevin McHale up and under. All right, now we'll have Pat do it now. Again, we don't like to see the players dribble going middle. All right, when we use the dribble, we like to dribble going baseline or dribble and make a counter move back to the middle. But we want to be able to catch it in here, see opposite to slow ourselves down. Now catch the ball, look over the shoulder and read the defense, make an adjustment on your move, and take the ball to the basket. We tell the kids to turn every move in around the basket, no jump shots in the post. So even as we turn and shoot in the post, we want to jump to the goal to get contact. All right, now we'd like to take you through a sequence of rebounding drills that we work on to build up the aggressiveness to be a good rebounder. Our first drill now will be a two-man board tap drill. And in that drill now, our players are going to try to fight for position in the trenches, get position, and tap the ball back and forth. Roderick and Woodrow, come on out. Now they're going to go back and forth now with their hands out to establish position in the post. They're going to tap the ball two hands, 5 times, back and forth. Here we go, fellas. You'll notice that they're keeping their fingers pointed up to finish the play, and when the play is completed right now, they hold position for the next jump. All right, our second rebounding drill now, the second one we work on is called the Kevin McHale tip drill. And we'll bring out a big player and a guard to show you how it can be done at any position on the floor. It's a great coordination drill, and it's also very good for getting the guys around the basket comfortable with doing two things at the same time. All right, Mark, come on out with Pat. Now we'll start with one player at a time. Pat will start on the right side of the basket right now, and Pat is going to tap the ball 5 times with his right hand while he jumps up and reaches towards the basket with his left hand. Very good. You'll notice how he keeps his hands up. One of the big things in rebounding are keeping your hands up while jumping. Now Mark, who's a guard, will set a target of the net with his left hand while he taps with his right hand right now. Very good. That is a very good coordination drill. Our third drill now that we'll work on is the Adrian Dantley power-up drill to work on offensive rebound baskets. So we'll take up now, we have Sean and Pat Sullivan, and Coach Miller now will provide some defensive push in the post. So as we power the ball up around the basket now, the kids will learn to use their body to shield the shot right now. Now Sean will go up first. Sean's job now is to go up and slam the ball hard off the backboard with 2 hands and gather himself into a strong position to jump up again. So Sean now will go through it one step at a time, go up and hit it off the backboard, and come down into a gather position and power it back up again. Okay, now let's do it at speed. Let's do that at full speed now. All right, now you can see on that time that Sean didn't give out any punishment. He allowed himself to be pushed out of the play. He didn't gather himself after coming down from hitting the ball off the board. Now that time he had better balance. All right, now let's have Pat come in and do it now. All right, we want to make sure that as we go up now, we're not the recipient of the contact, but we're giving out some of the contact around the basket. Here we go. Okay, again, a game situation. Okay, and let's bring out one of the guards. Let's have James Wright come out, and we'll show how one of the smaller players will do the exact same thing. Now, James, again, has got to establish stronger position before he jumps. Okay, better job. And let's do it one time on the other side, James. Okay, now the fourth drill we want to work on now is the Superman drill. And this drill will be used as we'll go back and forth across the backboard. Now we'll have Roderick go first. Roderick now is going to show how we have to pursue rebounds. Good rebounders go after every shot like it's a miss. They don't just get rebounds up over their head. So what Roderick will do now is throw the ball off the backboard, and he'll go and chase the ball across the lane. When he grabs the ball, he will pull it to his chin. He will spread eagle and try to land outside the 3-second lane. He'll go back and forth and do it 5 times. Here we go, Rod. Very good. In my mind, basketball is a game of fundamentals. What we have shown you today are the drills that have made our players at St. Anthony's better all-around players. We hope that we've shown you that through repetitions, one can develop a sound base of skills that will help you to succeed in basketball. But I don't want to sway you with the thoughts that what you saw today are going to pay dividends in a short period of time. All of the players who are out here today have committed themselves to working very hard on the things we have shown you. And after years of work on a regular basis, you can see kids who have developed their all-around games. The game of basketball is one where quickness and athletic ability are necessary. The skills we showed you today can be developed through the daily repetitions. There's a playground or a gym near your house. You've got a basketball, and we just gave you the plan. So if you want to be a good player, you'll go out there and work on these skills every day. The choice is yours right now. 2 hours a day on the game of basketball is all you need to do. But you have to have a brain, you have to set short-term and long-term goals, and you're going to want to be good at this game.